Hey everyone, in this video we will be going over the fee structures of various crypto exchanges. We will be doing this through the lens of an active trader, meaning someone who plans on making at least a few trades a day. It's important to choose the right exchange as it can save you hundreds of dollars in trading fees in the long run. And some exchanges do not have certain tokens listed that you might want to trade. The exchanges we'll be covering in this video are going to be Kraken, Coinbase Pro, FTX US, Kucoin, and Binance. There's plenty of other exchanges that I'm not going to be covering here, but I think these 5 are the top ones, at least for US residents, that you might want to sign up for. I think they give you some of the best rates and the best user experience and security, as well as access to the most coins. First off, let's take a look at Kraken's fees. So you can see I have Kraken Pro selected right here, and we can see their fee structure. Most exchanges will do this 30-day volume fee tier, where the more you trade in a 30-day period, the less your fees are. And as you can see, if you're trading over 10 million, you actually don't pay any fees in the maker column. Now, let's take a quick detour to understand the difference between maker and taker fees. When I first started trading, I had no idea what this was, and I'm sure a lot of people don't understand this as well. So let's do a quick detour and then we'll come back and talk about Kraken's fees. So maker fees are fees that are charged to people who are providing liquidity to the market. What does providing liquidity to the market mean? Well, it means you're placing limit orders that are not executed immediately, but are instead held on the order book until a matching order on the sell side, if it's a buy order, or a buy order if your order is a sell order, links up with it and it gets executed. So anything that is a limit order is going to be using the maker fees, and you can see that the maker fees are less. So you always want to make sure you're using limit orders so you can take advantage of these lower fees. Taker fees are fees that are paid by people who aren't providing that liquidity. So basically anyone who's placing a market order where they're just saying whatever the current market price is, I want to purchase or I want to sell at that market price, and they're not putting in a limit order that is either above or below that current market price. Hopefully you understand the difference between maker and taker fees. It's not that complicated, but it is important to understand when you're looking at fees and calculating which fees are going to be more beneficial for you. So make sure you're always placing limit orders so you can take advantage of these maker fees. And a lot of these exchanges will actually have a setting that you can toggle that says only execute this trade if I'm going to be paying the maker fees. So I usually will do that just so I don't accidentally execute it with these taker fees. So that being said, let's look at these Kraken fees. It looks like 0.16% for maker and 0.26 for taker. If you're trading between $0 and $50,000 per 30-day period, if you go over $50,000 into this $50,000 to $100,000 range, it drops to 0.14 for maker and 0.24 for taker. I'm really only going to be covering the first 2 tiers of each of these platforms because I'm sure most people aren't going to be getting up into these higher volumes tiers, so we'll just cover those 2. So right off the bat, doesn't look too bad, but let's keep comparing and go to a few other exchanges. So let's look at what Coinbase Pro's fees are. So remember, this is Coinbase Pro because Coinbase, the fees are a lot higher than Coinbase Pro, and I wouldn't recommend using normal Coinbase for your active trading. It's fine if you're just buying stuff and holding it for a while, but if you're actively trading, those fees are really going to eat up into your profits. So this is Coinbase Pro. Remember that. Under 10K, you're at 0.5% as well as 0.5% for the maker. 10 to 50K, which is the same range right here, roughly, you are getting 0.35 to 0.35. So we can go compare that. So already we can see Kraken is beating Coinbase by a lot. So you definitely, if you're going to be doing a lot of trading, you don't want to be using Coinbase Pro because of these higher fees. Unless, of course, you just really like Coinbase Pro or you have a lot of assets there already or something like that. I mean, it's not a huge difference between fees, 0.35 and 0.14, but, or 0.16. It is going to add up in the long run. So make sure, you're keeping that in mind. All right, let's move on to FTX US. So it's important to first understand that a lot of people talk about FTX. There's actually 2 totally separate companies. There's FTX and there's FTX US. FTX has a lot more cryptocurrencies that you can trade, and they also have a different fee structure. I have actually looked at their fee structure because I'm in the US, so I can't use FTX. But keep in mind that FTX and FTX US are completely separate, and they'll have different fees and totally different cryptos that you can trade. So with FTX, the first fee tier is 0.1 for maker and 0.4 for taker. So if we go back to Kraken, which was the best so far, we can already see that FTX is beating Kraken on the first tier right off the bat. You don't actually get to FTX's level on Kraken for the maker until you're trading like $250,000. So we can already see that, if you're trading on FTX, you're going to be getting a lot better fees over the long run than Kraken. That being said, FTX US has limited cryptocurrencies, so you're going to have a lot more options on both Coinbase Pro and Kraken. You're going to have a lot more options of different currencies to trade between. But if you are interested in trading the currencies that FTX US offers, you're going to be paying a lot less fees. So far, FTX US is our winner on the fees. Let's take a look at Kucoin. This gets a little more interesting when we're going into Kucoin and the currency exchange we'll talk about next, which is Binance. So these fee structures are very similar. They do their volume in Bitcoin though. So you can see if you're trading less than 50 Bitcoin, you're going to be in this tier right here. I don't think anybody's really going to be, I'm sure someone is, but most people aren't going to be getting out of this first tier. Trading over 50 Bitcoin is quite a lot of money. So we'll just stick and analyze the first tier from Kucoin. As you can see, level 0 for their trading is less than 50 Bitcoin per 30-day period, and you're already paying a 0.1 maker and 0.1 taker fee. So that's amazing. That matches FTX with the maker fee, and it also immediately puts you at 0.1 for the taker fee. So with Kucoin, you really don't even have to worry about the difference between those two fees. You can place a limit order or market order, whatever, you're going to be getting the same fee. Now it gets a little more interesting when we look at this column, which says paying trading fees in KCS, which is Kucoin's cryptocurrency, you get 20% off. So you're at 0.08 if you pay in KCS, and all you have to do to pay in KCS is just hold some in your account on Kucoin, and then select the option when you're trading to pay your fees in KCS, and you'll automatically get this 0.08, which is amazing. So Kucoin is a great exchange. I've had no issues with it. It has tons of currencies. It has the most out of any exchange I've ever used. They even have really new cryptos that you can try to get in early on and speculate on some price action. So I would definitely recommend Kucoin, especially if you're paying in KCS. You're going to get even less fees than the previous least fees that we saw so far, which was FTX US. So definitely recommend Kucoin, and so far they are beating everybody else in the fees as well. So let's look at one more, which is Binance. Binance, you can see same thing, less than 50 Bitcoin. You're going to be in this level 0, which I'm assuming most people are going to be stuck in. So we'll just look at this one fee level. And then we can see they have a 0.1% maker and 0.1% taker. So that's exactly the same as Kucoin and FTX. At least on the maker side for FTX. So we have that right there. And then they also do something similar to Kucoin, which is if you pay in their BNB cryptocurrency, you get 25% off. So that's actually beating out Kucoin even. So you can see 0.08% if you pay in KCS and 0.075% if you pay in BNB. It's really easy to pay in BNB. All you do is select that option when you're making your trade and ensure that you have enough BNB in your account to pay the fees in BNB. So now that we've looked at all of these exchanges, you can make your own decision if you trust one more than the other, or if you just feel more comfortable with the UI of another one. Totally fine, go ahead and use that one. But if you're strictly just trying to maximize your profits and pay the lowest fees, I at least am going to be going with Binance because of these really low fees that you can get from paying in BNB. And I just trust Binance. I think it's a good company, been around for a long time, and I don't have any issue using Binance. I'm not nervous about using Binance at all. But that being said, make your own decision. This isn't me recommending any of these. I'm just going over the facts here of what the fees are. If you do decide to use BNB, here's a quick tip. So when you turn on using BNB to pay fees, so all you have to do is just turn on using BNB to pay for fees, and you can see right here in their image that it just shows that that's turned on, and you can verify that it's turned on, and then you can see how much BNB you have available to pay for your fees. This is really important right here. So you do need to hold BNB in your account in order to use it to pay for fees. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting this good rate. You're going to be getting 0.1, which is still good, but it's not as good as 0.075. So in order to use BNB, all you have to do is, so it says if the BNB balance in your account is insufficient, fees will be deducted according to the Binance fee schedule. So that means fees will be deducted with this 0.1%. So all you have to do is hold BNB in your account and have using BNB to pay fees turned on, and you'll get that great rate. All right, hopefully that helped you narrow down your choices and make a decision on what crypto exchange you want to be using. Keep in mind these were all for US residents, so there might be better exchanges out there for you if you're not a US resident, but these are the ones that you can access legally as a US resident and get some great fees. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. I'm going to be releasing more content in the future, so make sure you subscribe so you can catch that as soon as possible. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.